are they again? I'm your host Raymond and welcome to another exciting episode on Motor Week. On the first part of the show, it was all systems go in this year's Ultimate 2019 Enduro Championship combo, where we saw the Kenya National Enduro Championship and the Dutch Masters Enduro Championships coming together for an ultimate race. Let's take you guys to the event and to see what exactly went down.
Enduro from the name is like endurance.
This is our sport.
The event was amazing.
The fact that two championships came together to hold one event, that was really nice.
Every time I remove my helmet, I still get, oh my gosh, it's a lady. I'm like, yeah. And we have quite a number of ladies who are racing.
The event was really good. I always love the Dirt Masters track here in Kenya.
Enduro, in its most basic definition, is a type of mountain bike racing where the downhills are timed and the uphills are mandatory but not timed.
In your capacity, what would you say Enduro is all about and what kind of sport is it?
So basically it's endurance sport. So you're basically riding your bike on sometimes the hardest track out, but sometimes the most technical, sometimes fastest track, but going for that period of time as quick as you can. So it's not like a motocross where you go flat out for 20 minutes and then you stop. This is you're riding for 3 hours if you're an expert and 2 hours a clubman, as fast as you can over rocks, through bushes, through riverbeds, you know. So it's having all of those skills to know how fast to go and when to back off, but still keeping that pace of racing.
That's one thing I want to understand. What's the difference really between the motocross and enduro?
It's completely different. Enduro from the name is like endurance, it tests your endurance, so it's like a 3-hour race. Motocross is 20-minute heats and it's around a smaller track which has obstacles. So it's more of a sprint compared to testing your endurance.
A typical enduro race consists of 3 to 5 time stages which take place on technically demanding, generally descending terrain.
Well, I started off my career racing motorcycles in motocross. I did motocross for close to 20 years.
Wow.
And when I was about 17 or 18, I started racing enduros. And it's just a different thing to motocross, so it's a good change, something I really enjoyed. And that's how I got into it.
I got involved in this sport over 4 years ago. My son used to ride motocross. He had an injury, and to help him get back, I decided to join him in riding, and it's been great. This was my first event, so much as I didn't finish the event, but it was great, it was fun.
In terms of support, like the other time we were talking about the rally, and we've seen how much the government is even coming on board to really support it coming back. Has there been a lot of support from different sponsors?
Not at all. It's actually one of the things I would like to see a lot more government support. There are a lot of initiatives that we've asked government to get involved in, particularly the whole issue of the fact that the sport is expensive. We could get some of the levies off on importation of bikes and that sort of thing, then that would help reduce the cost and obviously grow the numbers. So we are looking to government to support us quite a bit, and if they can do that, then we'll see a rise in numbers.
When did this passion for you to start riding begin?
It started 5 years ago. I lived in India back then, and India it's a motorbike nation, so we used bikes to commute, and then some friends invited me to go on an adventure trip, and that's when I got hooked and haven't stopped since.
Okay.
And when I came back home, there was the enduro sport going on, and I thought I should try it, and this is it now, 3 years later since I started enduro.
It's a fairly expensive sport. You as a rider, what will be your word out there for people who are interested in joining the sport, but they're finding it a little difficult because of the expenses involved?
You don't have to have the best equipment to start. I personally started with a Chinese bike, and I worked my way up. Slowly got to having a new bike, and I think for people out there, you start with what you've got. Get involved and see what you can do. Who knows, you might pick up a sponsor.
And what can you tell me about the event this time round?
This time round was, I mean, it was a fantastic event. You know, the sponsorships, we thank for that. The fact that 2 championships came together to hold one event, that was really nice because it gave us such a good array of riders. I mean, we were about 30, 40 riders. That's a big number. So the competition was there in the fields. It was good fun.
And as a rider, maybe what's some of the biggest challenges?
I guess for me, the biggest challenges are time constraint in terms of you really have to put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. With anything, a lot of hard work really pays off. And maybe the cost, sometimes it can be an expensive cost, so sponsorships really do come and help.
Maybe who are the key sponsors and organizers of?
So like the key sponsors here in this one were the Rhino Riders, but they just changed the name to Adventure Tours, I think it is. They're the massive one for this one, but we have other companies like Moto ATV, Bike Tires Kenya. So we have quite a few different ones. So we have Tapo, who supplied the environmental mats, which all bikes have to have so that they don't drop all the oil onto the ground and everything. So we have a lot of small sponsors that have come in just to help build it all up. You know, people just giving 100,000 sort of here. Got Home Care, just another company that's just helping out in that way. So we've got a lot of small guys coming in just to help build it up as much as we can.
This year's Ultimate Enduro Combo race had 2 main events for the senior class. Ben Speaks took the first position in the expert class in a total time of 2.55 minutes 37 seconds. Visham Vinayak came in second in 3.09 minutes, followed by Ben Pointer in third place in 3.13 minutes 53 seconds.
As much as I really need these tires, I just wanted to hand over my prize to someone who I feel really deserved it. He certainly looked out yesterday after bike issues, and today I saw him 3 or 4 times stuck on the track. Fair enough, he got help from others, but Tutu, hats off to you, you still completed. So I'd like
The Clubman class had a total of 5 laps, and Ryan Anthony came first in this stage in 1.58 minutes 2 seconds. He was followed by Anthony Marias in 2.07 minutes 28 seconds, and Callum Hayes came in third in 2.16 minutes 17 seconds.
That was an amazing enduro experience, and I'm also happy that I got a chance to learn more about the event. Now let's cross over to the world of Formula One, where the Red Bull racing team made history in Silverstone at this year's British Grand Prix, where they managed to stop the clock just 1.91 seconds.
It's lights out and away we go.
The 2019 British Grand Prix race was the 10th round of the 2019 Formula One World Championship.
Into Stowe, where Valtteri Bottas has pulled off some great moves. Oh no! Sebastian Vettel's gone into Max Verstappen.
It marks 74th running of the British Grand Prix, the 7th time that the race has been run as a World Championship event, and the 54th time that the World Championship event has been held at the Silverstone circuit.
6 British Grand Prix wins.
Heading into the race, Lewis Hamilton had 31 points advantage over teammate Valtteri Bottas in the Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton won the race for a record 6th time. The Red Bull racing team made a world record pit stop by stopping the clock at just 1.91 seconds and earning themselves 25 points overall. They were followed by the Williams racing team and the Ferrari racing team consecutively.
Now that was an amazing race, and of course kudos to Lewis Hamilton for winning this year's British Grand Prix. Now those Red Bull guys must have drunk too much Red Bull at the pit stop. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have more in store. Don't go anywhere. Now, in any sport, doctors are part of the team and play a very crucial role in case of any eventualities before, during, and after any competition. Motor Week this time got a chance to speak to an amazing doctor who has a love for riding bikes and of course loves the world of motorsport. Just maybe to understand, how did you get involved in this kind of business?
Well, I'm a doctor and a biker, so that's how I got involved. I started both of them around the same time 4 years ago. Riding was my way of dealing with being a doctor. It's a nice, it's a nice stress reliever. So I started riding 4 years ago. I qualified as a doctor about 4 years ago. But this is something that's happened more recently, where events want a doctor on site, and it helps if the doctor is a biker. You understand the complexities of what's going on. Sometimes if you don't have someone who can ride out and stabilize the patient, if there's a patient, then the patient would have to ride back, or it would become a bit complex, especially in enduro, because of the terrain and how difficult it is to get out there.
For you, your love for riding came way before you became a doctor?
No, actually I started riding the year I became a doctor, so the year after I qualified.
Is it like an interest you saw, like, okay, I could do this and actually fit in this kind of category of work?
So I didn't know that this is a thing. I was a doctor, I was a rider, and then, with time the two found themselves together. So I'm very happy for that coincidence.
What kind of bike do you ride?
So I ride a dual sport, UM.
And you compete in most competitions, or just?
So I've not competed, I just ride for leisure. But after today, it looks like a fun thing that I could possibly consider.
Are there any special qualifications required to be able to care for these autocross guys? Because I'm sure you've seen some of the injuries they get.
Experience in trauma would be very important. There's something called ATLS, the Advanced Trauma Life Support. So it's important that, well, first you're a qualified doctor and then you have a trauma qualification, because what you'd be doing, especially here, is dealing with a trauma. So you would need that ATLS to be able to attend to the trauma.
And what can you tell me about the event today?
I think it was great. Like everyone has said, it was 2 championships coming together. So definitely growing the sport. The fact that they want a medic, the fact that there were lots of sponsors, it means the sport is growing, and having people like me having more sponsors here on the ground, it means that people are taking the sport more and more seriously. And I think there's a potential to use sport to elevate stuff more. We have a lot of borders, they do get crashes, so this can be used as a way to make people sensitized about the importance of safety, and that bikers can be safe and even on the road, but that motorists also should care about them. So there's definitely possibility to use this as a platform to elevate motorsport as a safe thing to do.
All right. And lastly, for you, I mean, when people look at riders, and it's seen as a male-dominated world of sport. So how does that make you feel? You are a rider and you're a doctor, and you are in this kind of
thing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's great for them, because even today they were like, oh, the doctor's here, and then it's like he. Then I was like, no, she. No, so I think it's great. I mean, I never thought I can't do it because I'm a woman, but I still get, every time I remove my helmet, I still get, oh my gosh, it's a lady. I'm like, yeah. So I think it's great to be in this place. The guys are great. There are more and more ladies coming up, and yeah, it's a great place to be.
Wow. Now today on our history segment, we talk about the legendary late Shaka Meta, one of the renowned names in the world of rally. He was born in Uganda and spent most of his career here in Kenya. Let's find out more about his story.
I would like a win this year. The only problem is another half a dozen people have the same idea.
Shaka Meta was a Ugandan-born Kenyan rally driver of Indian descent.
Favourite and the number 1 in the seeding is Kenyan resident Shaka Meta, 4-time winner and again driving a Datsun Violent GT.
He was born in 1945 in Uganda and began rallying behind the wheel of a BMW at the age of 21. In 1972, he and his family fled the Idi Amin regime to Kenya. The year before, he clinched his first Safari Rally title. He won the Safari Rally for a record 5 times, including 4 consecutively.
The greatest, the toughest motor rally in the world.
I would like a win.
In 1981, he finished 5th in the World Rally Championship. Through the most successful period of his career, he drove dust and cars. He won the inaugural Africa Rally Championship in 1981 and the Cyprus Rally in 1976. He won on the podium at the 1981 Rally Codassa, twice at the Acropolis Rally and 3 times at the Rally Côte d'Ivoire. His career came to an end in 1986 after a nearly fatal crash at the Rallye des Pharaons, Egypt, while driving for Peugeot. After his driving days were over, he held various administrative positions at the FIA. He became president of the FIA Rally Commission in 1997 and was reappointed as interim president of the World Rally Championship Commission shortly before his death. He died in London on 12 April 2006 from liver problems, hepatitis, and illness relating to complications from an old injury.
Now that was an amazing piece of history, and I'm happy that most of you now got to learn more about this great rally driver by the name Shaka Mehta. Motor Week will be right back after the break. Now this week on upcoming events on Motor Week, we take a look at Monster Jam event that is going to be taking place in the US. And of course, right here at home, we're going to be concentrating on the MX-5 motocross event taking place at Jamhuri.
The next Monster Jam track race will take place at Stanford Springs in the United States. Some of the popular tracks to feature in this race include Gravedigger, Max D, Hurricane Force, Monster Energy, among others.
Get it, Tom. Oh, in the front flip, dude. On the dude. Yeah! Oh, he saves it. Woo! They landed it.
And back in Kenya, motocross fans are looking forward to the MX-5 event at Jamhuri Park.
Now I'm afraid that's all we had for you this time round on Motor Week. Make sure to catch us next time for another amazing and exciting roundup of different motorsports taking place here in Kenya and on the international scene. Big up to GP Karting, all our fans, and of course my crew. Otherwise, I've been your host Raymond saying kwaherini ya konana till next time.